Hey, it's Max with the Guitar Center. We're here at Winter NAMM 2025, and we just stopped by the Nord booth. We're talking with our friend Jacob about the all-new Nord Piano 6. Jacob, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a good show so far.
Nice. Day 3, we could use something maybe a little calming, relaxing. Piano seems like a good candidate. You want to walk us through this a little bit?
Many of the updates on the Piano 6 are coming from some of the other Nord keyboards. So the Grand 2's come out that took some things from the Stage 4, some effects, and different functionality that's now been brought into the next generation of Piano 6. One of the big things is you now have independent piano layers and independent synth layers. So you can have up to 4 sounds going at once, picking from the awesome sounds within the Nord library, and they can each have their own chain of effects as well. So if I click these buttons here, that helps me focus on what effects I have set. So as I'm going through layer A, B of the synth and layer A, B of piano, I can set that. Some of those effects are really beautiful. There's a couple new ones I want to show you, but I'm going to go ahead and just play a little bit and give you a sense of the capability here. One of the other things you'll see me do is you now have LED faders for these. You can set a balance between these layers, save that as a program, but then also in real time, you can be adjusting the mix. So let's do a quick demo. We'll go ahead and pull up a EP sound that I really like. This is EP9 Stockholm. I'm gonna add in something that's new to this Piano 6. It was also new to the Grand 2 a few months back, and that's the Spitfire String Quintet, which is a beautiful new sound. Spitfire, of course, is known for having fantastic string libraries, and now those sounds are in Nord. I think a great partnership between those two. So here's a little taste. Beautiful sound, right? It's really incredible. So, and you could see in real time how I was manipulating those layers. So bringing in sounds and being able to kind of perform more in real time with what you're doing.
Can you give us a sense, we were talking about the independent effects sections for each. Could you kind of, change up the sounds in each of those 2 layers there and yeah. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, and we can add some more layers. So we can go to layer B. Maybe I want to add a different kind of piano, maybe, or go to the digital, maybe add like a hybrid EP on top. Layer A, I'll keep the strings. Maybe I want to go to flute and maybe add a flute layer on top. So you see, that was just one of those quick moments where I was like, I had some effects on layer B, and I just simply clicked. I can flip them on and off. And it's just really easy to change these layers as you go, as you're playing and creating. Maybe I want to add some tremolo on the EP sound. Maybe a little spring reverb, which is one of my new favorite things that's added to the reverb. So that's just a little taste of like, you're in your studio at home, you're preparing for a gig, or you're on the gig, and you just want to start adding effects, layering, changing the balance between the layers. It's just so easy to do quickly.
Yeah. Nice and intuitive. Yeah. Very easy to see what you're controlling as far as what effects you're changing. And so if you're new to this type of a keyboard, maybe you're just a pianist more than someone that's going to dig into manuals, pretty quick to learn it, I imagine.
And that's kind of really the whole beauty of all the Nords. Every keyboard is they have this same interface that's just so easy to approach. You don't need to worry about going into a menu. It's not complicated. You probably really don't even need to like watch videos or read a manual. Honestly, when I learned to play, it was a stage. I think it was a stage 2. I just jumped in. It's because everything you need is right there. Piano, both the engines, piano, sample, synth, it's right there. Everything's there. The effects, it's all there in front of you. And I that's just what I love about Nord, is that it's just so easy to look at and just jump right in.
Probably a lot of people that are playing this, splitting is going to be a big deal for them.
Sure.
You know, maybe a bass in the left hand, piano in the right, maybe strings just in the upper register. Can you show us how quickly someone can do that?
Yeah, sure. So right now I'm just on the first program that's a preset, but maybe I want to set up a layer or a split, you know, put the piano in the top. So turning on keyboard split, then shift click. Now it's on the upper range. The split point on Nord, you see all these little LED lights here. I hold this down. Now I'm actually going between different split points. Say that's where I want my split. So now I can put a bass below that LED there. Let's find a bass, finger bass. Now I have my bass split, but if I want to add more layers, maybe to the upper area, I can do that. So I can put some strings back. If I click both of these, now I have my bass back. But what's cool is you can also do a crossfade. Right now I have crossfade 1 on. So, and I'll do this just between a couple sounds here. If I have layer A on in the sample synth, which is my bass, piano is on the upper, you might want to know, okay, what if I can fade between the two? Because you don't want sometimes that very immediate change between one sound here and the other here at the split point. So now if I play through that, it's gradually changing. And right now it's set at 6 semitones, but I can actually do crossfade 2. And now it's a whole octave. So it will take an entire octave for the sound to fade between one to the other. So I don't end up at piano until I get all the way here. So that's a really nice feature, because I know for a long time as a pianist that's been playing pianos that have splits. That's something that can be a little annoying when you're playing something and maybe you're improvising and you jump to another sound awkwardly.
It can be very jarring.
It can be jarring for people listening. So this solves that.
Too. Unexpected,
right.
It's a split there. Jeez,
right.
That's not going to sound right.
No, it's not going to sound right. So, but the beautiful thing is that you can change that split point as well. Again, the way that it works here with the LEDs. And again, it's the beauty of Nord. Everything is presented right in front of you to see.
Before we let you go, you were talking about, the Spitfire string sounds. Any other stuff that's new in the Piano 6 that you want to show off for us?
Some of them have become my favorite effects that you can find on some of the other models as well. I'll pull up an EP sound here. So you heard a little tremolo on the EP, but there's this one I really like called Spin. So that's part of mod 1, and in there you get 2 pans, a tremolo, spin, which is this kind of rotary sort of effect, and then a wah and a ring mod as well, and a rate and a mount knob for those. So that's a really cool effect.
And I'm guessing you could also say you could take the expression pedal and you could assign it to that. So if you want to keep your hand playing, you could just use your foot to adjust maybe the speed, something like that.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, because you do have, in addition to a sustain pedal, and also something else that's new is a triple pedal. So you now get the 3 pedals you normally get on an acoustic grand, and you also have the ability to do continuous pedaling. But yeah, you do also have a volume and control pedal input. So you could be mapping, you can see here it says control pedal. So all I would do is that, and now I'd be able to control, I believe, the amount with that. Under that mod 2, you got choruses, a couple phasers, flanger, vibe. That's one that's on the stage 4 as well. I really like. A couple of the other new things. I mean, whole equalizer section here. So you can, tune in your sound, get it like you want it. Delay, entire delay with feedback filters, high pass, low pass, band pass on there. Yep. 2 ping pongs, that's an addition. So on the delay section. And then in reverb, I mentioned that spring reverb, which I think just
fantastic.
Sounds so awesome. And yeah, that's just a few of the new things. It's a great board. I think it was kind of been a surprise for people. I think the organ obviously is one we're really, really excited about, but this was a nice surprise. And I think it's going to have a lot of utility for those players that are pianists at heart, that want something easy to take on the road. You have the 73 key, but also the 88 that's down here. It's great for the gigging pianist.
How soon is this going to be hitting stores?
I don't think there's an official date yet, but I do know it's going to be probably more like the summer.
Jacob, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate the demo. If you want to learn more about the Nord Piano 6, get your order in, head to guitarcenter.com, and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for all the latest new from NAMM.